This is 12 Months in a Hammock, November edition. So last night I slept in the Amazonas Easy Traveler. It's a pretty comfortable hammock. It was pretty cold too, down to -11. I was using this Revelation X by Enlightened Equipment's top quilt and underquilt. It's a 0-degree bag. Really comfortable, really warm, and it's a half-size underquilt, so it only covers kind of your torso and a little bit of your legs. It kept me really warm. It was really lofty. You can see it's got quite a thick loft there. So I was toasty when I was using it, but it's even just having my arm out to make this video, it's pretty cold. The only thing I don't like about top quilts is you don't get that nice toasty hood that you can zip up around your face. I usually have it zipped up so all you can see is like my nose and my mouth for breathing, and it'd be so warm. So they don't have that, so you have to have a nice warm hat to use instead when you're using these top quilts. But they are 100% more easy to get into when you're in a hammock, just like pulling a blanket over top of you. Whereas when you're trying to climb into a mummy bag in the middle of the night, sometimes it could get complicated and you're at risk of probably falling out of your hammock. So let's get to the hammock review. So it's a pretty comfortable hammock. The length of the hammock is 84 inches and the width of the hammock is 54 inches. So you get a pretty comfortable lay out of that. It's your basic single hammock. As you can see down at the end, it looks like it has holes in it, but that's just part of their kind of unique design, which I think is cool because you get the cookie cutter hammocks and they're all similar, they're all kind of the same. There's not much difference between them aside from the suspension or the color patterns. But with this hammock, they tried to do something a little bit different and have a kind of their own unique style, and I think they accomplished that. And I think it looks cool, and it kind of sets them apart from their competitors. I've said this before in past videos, but one of the things I don't particularly like is the two color tone hammocks, because they have to put a seam inside the hammock like you see here. The only thing I don't like about it is because when you have the seam, you'll get these spots when you're trying to lie on an angle where you have pressure from the seam, and I find that extremely uncomfortable. So if this was one piece of material, one color, I think it would improve the comfort of the hammock quite a bit, but it's not. So if that's not an issue for you, then you'll find this hammock just as comfortable as any other hammock. But for me, I find I don't know, just there's a pressure point every time I try to lie on those spots, and I don't like it. Not just with this hammock, but with every hammock that has the two colors. Except for when you get to a bigger size, like a double size hammock, then I find you don't often use that much of the space, so you wouldn't find yourself lying on those pressure points. Another thing that's cool about this hammock is the suspension system. And I'm gonna get out and show you that setup. They kind of have a different style that they do that comes standard with their hammocks, opposed to the typical like rope cords or climbing rope cords that you would see on some hammocks now. That you just kind of do your shoelace knot to tie it on, or you often see the webbing suspension, which I think I am partial to the webbing suspension because it's very easy to tie onto a tree and adjust your suspension. But yeah, I'll get out of the hammock and I'll kind of show you the suspension system that comes with the Amazonas hammock here, and we'll take a look at that. So as you can see, they use a pin system where they have a loop, and then you put this pin through the loop, and then that kind of creates your secure knot, so to speak, for when you're hanging up your hammock. I like this. I think it's a good system. It's pretty. This pin is pretty light. It's a nice aluminum material, so it doesn't increase your weight a lot. and it's really easy just to throw it through the loop and pull it tight, and there you go. You don't have to worry about doing some knots, or when your hands are cold sometimes in the winter, it's not easy to tie your knots, whereas when you have this, you just throw it through, pull it tight, and you're good to go. And this other rope here is my Jacks Are Better tie out system. You'll see I have that set up to tie up my tarp. It's really handy. It comes with this nice rubber material here, so when everything's stretching, you won't get a big tear in your tie outs, so that's always nice to have. And I was using the DD tarp. Got it set up here for kind of my winter setup, so on this side I have it kind of closed off, so you can see, so not much air will get through there. And you can even take it to another level and kind of tighten that piece off here with these loops. I kind of just left it though. And then as you go over to this side, it's kind of my entranceway. So I was sleeping in my backyard last night because I was testing out this new setup here with the underquilt and top quilt, because it was cold and I didn't want to go out and then find out that I'd be freezing and then I have to pack everything up in the middle of the night. But you can see there's huge loft here, at least 4 inches, and it's a 0 degree setup, so it'll keep you nice and toasty warm. It's very comfortable, and I found that my back and everything was really warm, which is usually an issue with me. And my top was nice and toasty. The only part that I didn't find really warm was down by my feet here, because it's only a half size underquilt. So down by my feet, I found my feet and my lower legs would get kind of chilly. So I'm gonna have to get a mat or something, I think, to put at the end or inside the top quilt for my feet and my lower legs. So I'm going to take out these quilts and then I'm going to come back and show you the hammock a little bit closer. Okay, so let's get back in here and I'll show you the hammock a little better. As you can see, like I said before, it's the two-tone colors, and it's a nice wide hammock, just enough size for a single person to sit comfortably. They have the unique end design that we kind of showed you a little bit before. Yeah, it's a pretty good, comfortable hammock. Really unique in the design portion of it. Fits into the nice little stuff sack that you can also use to store a couple things in while you're sleeping. And it's pretty comfortable. It's under 16 ounces, so that's always great. Yeah, it's a good hammock. I'd recommend it for someone who's looking for something to take out. The only thing is I don't like the seams, so if you're the same with me with respect to finding these seams to be pressure points, I wouldn't go for this hammock. But if that's not an issue for you, then yeah, I would definitely try this out. It's a pretty good buy. I'm also going to be trying out the double size hammock from them and their camper hammock. So they're pretty good. I've used the double hammock a couple times now, and I found it to be really, really comfortable. So I'll probably use that one next. But yeah, stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave some comments if you have any feedback you want to give me, and I look forward to the next video.